and good evening. Welcome to my Capstone Project in class BU 491 that is about ethical behavior in the workplace with Professor Cindy Atchley and presented by Renita Dodson. First, I would like to go over what is ethical behavior in the workplace. Workplace ethics involves developing an atmosphere of respect and tolerance for everyone. In other words, in an ethical workplace, everyone has to strive to conduct business in a professional manner without the use of obscenities or racial slurs towards other co-workers. Um, it should be in a manner that is beneficial to owners, employees, and most importantly, all customers. As I explored on this topic, I found out a lot of pertinent information about ethical behavior in the workplace. I thought I knew everything about it, as far as the rules and regulations, codes of conduct, discrimination laws, harassment laws. And I must tell you that, all the information that I listed in my essay was very valid points that I will take along with me on my job and use those resources in the workplace. Um, in an ethical workplace, it involves refraining from negative behavior and actively it should strive to improve ethical performance and a good understanding. At my place of business, I work for a public school system, and I was currently in a school, for the past 7 years. Recently, in January, I was promoted down to the administration building where I have to wear many hats. Um, I'm a, I'm currently an administrative assistant for the deputy superintendent and the director of teaching and learning. In this environment in the workplace, I always have to present myself as being professional, courteous, and being honest, and you know have that confidentiality clause, right there. Um, you know, the modern workplace, often features people of different backgrounds, in which my department, we have all different backgrounds, um, but at the end of the day, we are a pleasant and positive department who's there for, the children of the district as well as our fellow co-workers and customers. And our parents are our number one priority, you know, next to our children. So we want to present ourselves as being professionals, so when the students that we are helping go out into the real world, they can present this behavior, you know, from what they was taught when they was in school. You know, being negative at the workplace is never a good thing. When I have an irate parent comes in, and it does happen. You have an irate parent come in. It is in my best interest to calm that parent down and talk to that person, instead of at them. Because if you're yelling and they're yelling, then nothing is going to get resolved. So I have to use my positive, ethical professionalism to get things resolved. And the purpose of ethical behavior in the workplace, it follows with employees. we are required to maintain a professional manner to keep hurtful and destructive opinions, you know, to ourselves. You know, you can have a irate parent come in and throw racial slurs and derogatory remarks and everything at you, but you always have to remember in the back of your mind that customer is always right, and I have to conduct myself not only as a professional but as an adult who has morals and values that you cannot step over the line or those boundaries. And being that I work for a school district, honesty within our parents, you know, they trust us. They're trusting myself as well as all the other coworkers that I work with their precious cargo, which are their children. So it brings me to this. Honesty is a central fact in an ethical workplace. It deals with management and employees, between coworkers, and between the business and its customers. And that's what we're doing. Our business is ran on legally and ethically. It requires all certain rules and regulations that we must follow, workers' rights, activities, and environmental regulations. Also, in my place of business, in the HR department, which is the core of the district, where everything is set up in regards to ethical behavior, you know, with coworkers of mine that work in the HR department, they have to, you know, sign a confidentiality clause, you know, so they won't just, you know, put in writing that they won't disclose specific detailed information to anyone. So, and that's the subcategory of honesty within elements that compromise ethical behavior in a workplace. So when we talk about honesty and confidentiality, they both can go hand in hand. You know, and it also falls under the umbrella, of disclosure information. But simply put, I do love what I do. This topic has taken me to places, that I thought I could never reach. And as an administrative assistant working for professional people that I work for, helps me to become even more professional and carry on that experience over and over again. My workplace shows the importance of workplace ethics that adheres to the rules and regulations along with all the policies such as harassment, discrimination, theft, and so forth. So far we haven't experienced that within our organization, and I am very happy because of that. I have been with this district for the last 10 years, and I'm treated fairly. My subordinates are very honest with me. We share a bonding relationship of trust. They trust me as well as I trust them. So, and that's basically what it is. If you're not, I feel if you're not happy where you're working, then things are always going to be, topsy turvy. Things are always going to be upside down, and you're just never going to be happy. So, in regards to workplace ethics, in my conclusion, you know, I just want businesses to understand that they have to promote a healthy and secure work environment with protection to all their employees' human rights, along with honesty, trust, and being in compliance with the rules and regulations and the laws that the government has set forth. With all that being said, I hope that you can walk away, you know, from this and gain something out of this short clip with what it is to be ethical, or what it is to show ethical behavior in the workplace, and keep that going. Always show positive behavior instead of negative behavior. And, you know, ethical behavior goes way beyond than just being honest and professional and trustworthy. You don't want to be rude to customers, be rude to your coworkers, be insubordinate, showing vulgarities and, you know, being on the internet, on company time, making long distance calls on company time. All those things fall under, being ethical in the office. And the examples that I gave are examples of unethical behavior in the workplace. But, that's a whole nother subject that I can talk about. And, but it is all written within my essay, that I researched about this topic. But the problems of ethical behavior in the workplace is always going to exist. But it's up to employees to put their best foot forward and, you know, be honest and step up to the plate and show coworkers or their employees who's boss. If you want to save your business and you want to prevent your business from drowning, then have your employees, as well as yourself as a boss, practice ethical behavior in the workplace. That concludes my video. Thank you and have a lovely evening.